to our first episode of On the Trail with Mike Woodruff. I'm your host, Mike Woodruff, and we are coming to you from the Ozark Highlands Trail. And with us today is two special people in my life. My daughter, Grace Woodruff, who, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Grace. I'm 18. This is probably my first time actually doing like a hard backpacking trip.
And what's some of the other backpacking trips have you done?
Nothing too much.
Like, well, you know, we've done weekend trips down in your shell knob.
Mm-hmm.
We've camped out in tents. We've slept in tarps. You know how to poop in the woods.
Yes, that's what I do.
And you know how to do what else in the woods?
I can make fires. I can kind of make my own shelter.
Okay.
I get to learn how to skin a squirrel, but we'll get there.
Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, so cool. And Martin Lively, hello, sir.
Hey there.
And of course, Martin's coming with us as well. And tell us a little about your outdoor experience.
Well, I always liked being outdoors as a kid. We would do sort of light family camping, but I really got started with the outdoors in the early 2000s when I lived in Georgia, and I started backpacking in the Cohutta Wilderness in the North Georgia mountains, which is just a really, really special place.
That's a very neat area too. That's the Appalachian Trails up there. Yeah. I myself did 30 miles of it and ended up hurting my knee. And believe it or not, it still screamed at me when I backpacked.
I do believe it.
Yeah, so we definitely that's definitely been a factor. So we started. Well, of course, we're doing the Ozark Highlands Trail. We're only going to be doing the first 80 miles of it. The trail is, well, officially 160, but they've added more to it. How many miles? I remember you talking about that?
30, 40 miles, something.
Yeah.
They're headed up towards Missouri, and eventually you'll connect with the trail there.
The Ozark Trail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, according to my little bandana that I got at the nearby gift shop, it's got a map on it. It's kind of cool. The OHT was dedicated as a national recreational trail in 1984. Construction of the OHT was begun in 1977, so it's about as old as me. Well,
yeah.
You're older than it. And continued until 1981, when with only a third of the trail completed, funds ran out. In the fall of 1981, a group of people that enjoyed hiking got together and formed the Ozark Highlands Trail Association with Forest Service, and the help of thousands of volunteers. The trail is now one of Arkansas's prized gems, and the Ozark National Forest is a working forest. That means that the forest is used for things other than recreation. Don't be surprised if you see trees being cut, a gas well, or a wildlife food plot in the area. So we're going to see a lot of cool things. The first thing we're talking about, this is our episode 1, and we'll have an episode 2. Hopefully we'll get that done and get that floated later. But we are coming to you from White Rock Mountain. Let's talk about, first we talk about White Rock Mountain. We'll talk about that shortly, but let's talk about our trip from day one. Started at Lake Fort Smith, and the one person that helped us along was your brother, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have any video of him, unfortunately.
Nope.
No, we don't. But while we were there, we did check out the gift shop or the visitor center. And Grace, what did you think about the visitor center?
I thought it was pretty cool. They just needed more food and stuff there.
Yeah, we got a video here of the there's a little wagon, covered wagon, and some other cool little things, and then of course at this point we hit the trail. Now we went to this area called Frog Bayou, which is kind of like a lake area. And we hiked along, and what was the one thing that you saw, Grace, that about Frog Bayou that you noticed that was not there?
There were no frogs.
No frogs at all, no. But there is some really cool waterfalls. That was something that was really good, huh, Martin?
Yeah. It's a really, really pretty area.
And sandwich, I'll bring a ranch of napkins. And do you need some extra plates?
That's good. Thank you. Wow, we were distracted there. I guess we'll start eating our pizza while we're talking about this, our video there. But anyway, ooh, very pretty. We'll save that shortly and show the folks. But anyway, so we also had See here. We hiked about 3 miles, and those, it was every time we turned somewhere, it was something really cool. And at what point, um, we had an accident happen. What happened with the accident there?
I tripped over a rock, fell over completely with my heavy backpack, and landed on my knee.
Did it feel good?
Not really.
No. Now, what did you feel? I mean, when you fell down, was there anything that came into your mind?
I was like, oh no, this could be the end.
Yeah.
This would mean that I have to go home, because I started crying. I'm pretty tough, but when I started crying, I was like, oh no, this isn't good.
Well, that was something that worried me, because you worked so hard to want to do this, because this is after your graduation, this is high school, and you wanted to really do something fun and go on an adventure with Dad. So what we did was we stopped off at camp. We camped at we set up camp on the other side of Frog Bayou. We were supposed to cross it, but we decided not to, huh, Martin?
Yeah, there's just been so much rain lately, and when we got there, we were all tired.
Yeah.
And I think we all wanted to take some more time and sort of assess the condition of the crossings and figure it out in the morning.
Well, and the thing is that and that was great, because it would give us an opportunity to kind of sit down, relax a little bit. Yeah, it sets back behind a little bit, a couple miles, but we took advantage of that. It had some really good food right here. I got some great video of the food there. We had a chicken curry thing.
It was actually really good. I
You
don't
liked it?
particularly like your camping food, but
You don't
that was-
typically like my camping food? Well,
it's always zombie food.
yeah, zombie food. And zombie food is in our house is you just buy a bunch of food over time, and then maybe a year or two later you might use it. So zombie apocalypse food. And how about you, Martin? What did you eat?
I have no idea what I ate. When I go hiking, every day is the beginning of something brand new, and I tend to forget a lot of what happened the day before.
Well, there was one little thing that was interesting. A bunny rabbit came along, and he definitely wanted to have dinner with us. But what happened?
Well, this little rabbit, he kept on coming up and getting curious, and I thought to myself, I'll bet he's going to show up sometime in the night and explore more closely. And sure enough, I woke up in the morning, and one of the straps on my backpack had a couple new bite marks in it. He didn't like it, so he didn't get very far. But
Well, he kept coming up, and I shoot him off, because I didn't want him to be getting into our tents and stuff. So that was kind of like, go away, buddy. But Grace seemed to like it.
I like them.
You're a little bunny rabbit
He
there.
had the biggest eyes ever.
Yeah, he was. Very cute. Very cute. Day 2 came along, and of course we're still at that Frog Bayou, and that was an interesting thing there, because we had to get across that thing.
yeah.
Martin, from your experience on backpacking, what did you think about that?
I mean, it was moving really fast. There were clearly some deep pools. And when I looked at it, I just thought, I need to really take my time, and we need to take this step by step and figure it out. Because if we just rush across at the first easy spot, somebody could get really badly hurt by that current.
What about you, Grace? What did you think about going across that thing?
I was just going along with everybody else and trying not to fall in.
Well, once we got out there, once we crossed over, and I don't have any video of that, unfortunately, because we put all of our electronics in dry bags and everything. We ended up hiking quite a bit after that, so much so that we really don't have a whole lot of video. But we did finally get to some really cool waterfalls. Get some really great footage of that. And at that point, Grace, how was your knee?
It was a lot better. It was still really swollen, but the bone was definitely bruised.
Yeah. And thanks, Martin, for having that Motrin on you. That was very helpful. Very helpful. Now, we also, of course, we saw some other great things. We finally got to a point where we decided we would stop for the night. We found a really cool waterfall. Thought we were going to stay there at this waterfall area, but somebody decided to go ahead. Who was that?
There were no spots to just camp because it was just this flat giant rock, and then there were just trees everywhere. So there was no possible way that you guys could have set up a tent.
But we could have cowboy camp.
No, that's not the point. It's
Oh,
the fact that
okay.
like the rest of us here would like to have somewhere that is comfortable to sleep on. So therefore, I went ahead up this mountain because I was like, oh, there'll be a next crossing coming up soon. If not, I'll get to the top of this mountain and be okay.
Uh-huh.
And so I kept going, and I found this perfect camping spot. And a fire pit had already been made, and looks like people had already been there before. And so I was like, okay, well, Dad already wanted a fire and to make some food. So I started on a fire, I hear a couple whistle blows, and I'm like, okay, awesome. Glad they're following me, because, there's
Yeah.
no way that you guys are going to cowboy camp down there and be comfortable. So Dad comes up, and he's like, oh, hey, you got a fire started. And I'm like, yes, awesome. Okay, you guys can come up here if you want to cowboy camp down there. That's on you, but I want to be up here in my hammock and be comfortable with a fire nearby. So I
Yeah.
wait probably about 30 minutes. I get my hammock up. I get fire going really good. And then you guys start coming up, and I see you guys, and I'm like, awesome, great. Had an idea where you guys would already be, so I kind of left the area alone and put my hammock nearby.
Mhm.
And so later on that night, Dad goes, hey, let's go get that bread in a can.
Bread in a can. How much does that bread in a can weigh?
A lot.
Weighs a pound. Pound of bread in a can for $3. You too can have bread in a can. And then we also had some freeze-dried steaks. Martin, what did you think about those steaks?
Well, it's one of those instances where it's something that if you cooked it at home, you'd say, oh my God, I'm not going to eat this. But you put it on a campfire and you cook it and you eat it in the woods after a long day of hiking, and it's the most amazing thing you've ever had in your life.
Yeah. And we also had mashed potatoes. That's something that Grace really wanted to eat.
I was starving.
Yeah, you are
I did
starving.
not
You were
want
starving.
steak.
Yeah, but anyway, well, cool. And then we started eating, and then we went to sleep.
It was supposed to be a really long trip because, of course, with Grace's knee injury, that really held us back a little bit, and we're just playing catch up. I would tell you something, guys. I was expecting that we would not be here tonight, and the fact that that something magical happened. What happened?
Somebody saw us on the side of the road thinking that we're just hitchhiking, and then explaining to them, no, we're just backpacking the Ozark Highlands Trail. Would you mind, possibly giving us a ride a few extra miles so that we can get caught up? And they were like, yeah, sure, just jump in the back. And so we jump in the back of their truck, and they take us, 8 miles?
8 miles out of our way.
Yeah.
And what was the one thing that we said when we were driving down the road?
Oh, what was that?
Bumps,
I
not
don't
bumps.
know.
Bumps, not lumps.
Bumps, not lumps,
Yeah.
because the bumps, we'd rather be bumping in the car and back of the thing instead of getting lumps, lumping on the trail with our heads and whatever else. But anyway, that was really cool.
Riding in the truck there.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Sorry,
Boy,
I'm eating.
what? She's already started to eat. I mean, we were supposed to like show the people the food that we're getting here, but that's okay. So it was fun riding in the van, the truck, and going down the highway. And you looked pretty happy too, Martin.
I was, it was the best 8 miles of quote unquote hiking that we've had all trip.
Now, when we get to White Rock Mountain, they have a really cool general store here where we're sitting on the front porch right here. And they had a lot of great stuff. Tell us a little bit about that, Grace.
I got a lot of Chex Mix, which I have already eaten most of. And so I'm gonna eat the rest of it tomorrow on the trail. But they have an amazing view too, as well.
Yeah, tell us about that view.
We've been here before, so there was nothing new to expect. Well, Martin had it, I guess. But we already knew kind of what to expect, and the fact that it's beautiful. Like, you're up on this kind of cliff deal going, and you can see for miles and miles of just mountains and trees, and it's so pretty.
What about you, Martin? We had the campsite going on there. Did some laundry and
Of course, when we were talking and putting everything together, what did you bring out to us, Grace?
She brought us pizza and sandwiches.
Well, bring out. Let's show the folks the pizza here.
Okay, well
Try
I'm
not
just
to drop it. Oh, you're gonna show the sandwich first. All right. Take it up. Take it closer to the camera there. Let them see the sandwich there.
Well, I gotta talk about the fact that's already eaten. It's got like ham, cheese, and bread.
All right.
That looks pretty good.
That looks really good. What else you got? I'll take that there. All right. What else you got? And we want to thank again the people here at White Rock Mountain for all their hospitality and everything else. They did such a great job. We also we want to thank our sponsors. They sponsor the trip, but they sponsor Woodruff Media Management. We want to thank Unity of Joplin. If you have an opportunity, go by their Facebook page. They got Sunday service starting at 11 o'clock, and they got Wednesday night word coming up at 6 p.m. every Wednesday night. Also, we have the Ottawa County Farmers Market. They are meeting every Thursday until September, starting from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and they're indoors at the Miami Expo Center. We also want to thank Elegance Unleashed owner Deborah. I forgot her name. Swan. Yeah. Want to thank Deborah for doing this, and she does such a wonderful job. So you go over there, give her a call. You can go over there. I don't have the phone number off the top of my head right now. I lost the script. We also have a new sponsor, K-Dog Online Auctions. Go by their Facebook page. They've got auctions. They've got one in the middle of the week, and then they got one, I think, on Wednesday nights, and then they got another one on Friday night, starting at 6 a.m. And then that auction is at 6 p.m. on Saturday. So you want to go and check that out and say hi to K-Dog and everything else. And coming up in June, they are going to be having an actual brick and mortar stores, and we'll have more information about that. Well, that is it for us here on the Ozark Highlands Trail. We want to thank everybody for following us along, and we look forward to seeing you the next episode of On the Trail with Michael Woodruff.